The Bible says that there are 4 titles as he reigns that will be given to him, that he will be recognized by. So just listen to these titles, and I think as we just assess the world and the state that it's in now, it will bring comfort to you. The first title is that he will be called Wonderful Counselor. Wonderful Counselor. When he reigns, he will reign in infinite wisdom, which means he will be right 100% of the time. He will always act in the best interests of his kingdom and the subjects in his kingdom, and in ways that support his righteous and just reign. Now, I can think back in history, we've had some good leaders, but we've never had a leader who was right every single time. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome if we could elect a leader who we knew with utter confidence every time he makes a decision, it's going to be the right decision? Man, that would be wonderful to have that kind of confidence in someone who is leading us. But that doesn't exist among humanity. All of us are flawed and fallen, and we make mistakes as part of being human. But when Christ reigns from the throne, he is going to be a wonderful counselor, right 100% of the time. Infinite wisdom will classify his reign. Beyond this, he's called Mighty God. Now, this is really, really important, because this is speaking of not only is he infinitely wise, but now it's speaking of his infinite power. The Bible calls, the knowing all is omniscient. So not only is he omniscient, but he is omnipotent, infinitely powerful. And this is why it's so important. If we had a leader who was always right and knew all things, he was omniscient, that's a wonderful attribute of a leader. But if he's not strong enough, he could still be overcome. If there was an army far greater than his reign could be overtaken. So there would still be fear in the hearts of his people if his power was not great. So not only is he infinitely wise, but he is going to be infinitely powerful. He will have no equal that can challenge his authority. There will be no other nation that can threaten his reign. Now this can be terrifying, or this can be something that is peaceful, because if omnipotence fell into the wrong hands, it would be hell on earth. If a corrupted man were to be given supreme power, there's that old saying that absolute power corrupts absolutely. It just seems to always go down that road. If someone is given too much power, it becomes corrupt. So the promise of a leader with omnipotence could actually be a fearful thing to us. But because he always makes the right decision, because his decisions are based in love for his subjects of his kingdom, and based in righteousness, and based in justice, we are actually brought comfort from the promise that he will have no equal, he will have no rival. Because omnipotence put in the hands of a righteous, good man is a wonderful thing. We've just not ever seen the opportunity for that to happen. But that will be a mark of his rule and his reign. He will know all infinitely, be infinitely wise, and he will have infinite power. Mighty God will be his title. Beyond this, he's called Everlasting Father. Now, this is an interesting title, but I think we're speaking of a father as we would understand a father, a protector, a provider. So this leader who is infinitely wise, and this leader who is infinitely powerful, he will also have infinite provision. He is going to be a protector and a provider to the subjects of his kingdom. If there is a need, He will have the means to grant it. You know, again, even if you had a powerful leader and a wise leader, there are still things that can come up against a good, strong leader that cannot be overcome. Famines have wiped out nations. Casualties of all different kinds can be very heavy on a society. Natural catastrophes. But this leader, who has demonstrated already in his first earthly advent, has power even over nature. And he will be able to provide for the subjects of his kingdom now in every form that they need and forever. So as we begin to think of all these things, we have a leader that is being promised to Isaiah who will be supremely wise. He will be supremely powerful. He will be the supreme provider for the people that he is ruling over. This leads to the last title he's given, the Prince of Peace. Because if you have a ruler who you can trust to always make the right decision, who will never become corrupt, and if you have a ruler who is so powerful, none could dethrone him. He has no rival. And if you have a ruler who is capable and able to provide for your every need of his kingdom, there will be no one going without. You know what that ushers in? Infinite peace, which this world has never known. But it's coming. It's coming in the deliverer that was promised from the very beginning.